Okay, should be streaming now. Let's see. Testing 1, 2, 3. Okay, so the first part that I wanted to do, which was to have it do an intro video and then go ahead and go to my X11 grab program, was not working. It had tested earlier, but now it's not working. So, and now I need to take off the audio so I don't hear myself in the delay. So the two things that I wanted to do was, as you can see here, I wanted to do the intro, I wanted to do the webcam, and my microscope. So the intro did not work. I will play around with that. But that's basically why I wanted to do this live stream. In this live stream, I want to be able to test the next level. So if you've been following with the FFMPEG series as part of the YouTube tools, the next one was to switch between one item to another. And over here, you could see my different notes of where video 0 is, which of the hardware I'm using. This is using HW2 because this webcam that you're looking at is HW1, and I'd be basically talking right into it because it's about 6 inches in front of my face. So far the sound sounds good. So looks like there's 2 people watching. So if anyone has any comments, just go ahead and throw those in the chat. And I'll be going through some other stuff. So I'm planning on doing about an hour on here. So part of that was to do some items on the screen, which I might still be able to do. But that will be a little bit later. We'll be jumping along to some other stuff. So I'm basically just gonna go here and chat with who's ever on here and maybe do some soldering. Because I still do have the temperature probe prototype board, and I have not made much progress with that. So I may do some soldering with that. But some other projects that I've been working on is that I've purchased some of these Aris style battery packs from cable modems, and I did open up one of them, and they do have these cells in there. These are TR18650 cells. So there are 4 cells in each of these battery packs, and I forget how many I purchased. Yeah, and if you're not a sponsor, but if you're looking to get battery packs, it's batteryhookup.com. That just happened to be in the box. So I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 of these. And yeah, so 4, 5, the one I open, and the 5 that are in the box. Yep, 10. So I have a total of 40 of those 3.7 volt cells. And those can be used to replace the batteries on the original temperature probe module, which I'm right now using rechargeable AA batteries. So as you can see here, it's off. I'm going to go ahead and change those batteries on live stream just because might as well. So it's been a set of batteries has since I've made the last modification to the power draw. A set of batteries has been lasting about 2 weeks. Yeah, so one of the tests I did at 6:30 on December 30th, I changed them, and then I had to change them again at 7 o'clock on the 13th. So pretty much 2 weeks. So I have 2 sets of batteries. One I pretty much leave charging while the other one's in here. But ultimately, I would like to change it with the lithium ion cells that I have here. And eventually need to finish the code in C for this. Because as you'll see, probably when I log this in, when I plug this in, the board won't boot up correctly. It'll just put something random in the 8-segment displays and just hold there. But I might actually luck out and it may actually boot up correctly. Just want to make sure all these batteries are in right. Put the cover back on. And go ahead and plug it in. And I'm just going to test something real quick. Okay, so I was testing the microphone because I rearranged my microphone to do this live stream. And, oh, what do you know? It did work on the first shot at 72 degrees here in my office. Yeah, I ended up turning off my air conditioner. That might be a test I'll do in a few minutes to see how the air conditioner sounds. If it does get a little hotter in here. So, for those that haven't seen the temperature probe module, this is a Raspberry Pi Pico, which is the microcontroller on that is the RP2040. And I have that set up to a DS18B20 temperature module. And that is connected with a 4.7 kilo ohm resistor, if I recall correctly. And then I have 3 LS70 74595, I believe, are the shift registers that I'm using here. And that has this white line is a timing as used as a clock. Each of the individual shift registers is one of these control lines, and then each of them is wired into the 8-segment displays. And yes, I deliberately call them 8-segment displays because the ones I have do have a decimal point here, which is the 8th segment. So if anyone is logged in right now and can chat, just let me know how the video stream is going, if there's a lag. There is going to be a lag with me speaking, just because I did this a little impromptu without a plan in place. So this live stream is more for testing purposes, and it's already gone up to 73 degrees in my office. So this is essentially the same circuit that I made with the breadboards. One of the last revisions on the breadboard was adding in current limiting resistors, or increasing the current limiting resistor for the displays to try to save on the battery, and there is a video on the channel for that. And I also added a variable resistor so I can play around and adjust those settings. And with this one, I'm eventually going to get the red like acetate and put it over here, the red tinted acetate to put over here, so I don't have to worry about the contrast. It will help with the contrast. So as of right now, I have a mess of wires. It has been several months since I've used this. So the last thing I had done was I had started to wire in the 8-segment displays, and that's where I kind of realized that this was getting in over my head, and I just did not have the time to play around and solder this in. And what I want to do at some point is to go ahead and make this onto a circuit board. So I do have circuit boards. Let me see if I can get them without making a problem. So I do have blank copper coated panels, and those I can use these markers that are designed for etching and etch out part of the copper and then use, or mark out part of the copper and then use printed circuit board etch to go ahead and I'm making a mess in my office, to go ahead and etch these boards. And then once I get that far, then I'll convert that into a PCB that I can use for, or order a PCB from a PCB production house. Okay, I'm going to do one more test with the audio. You may hear some clicking on this. Okay, yeah, I just wanted to go ahead and test the mute function on my microphone. And now I'm waiting to make sure it came back on. Yeah, so then there are other possibilities with this temperature probe module, but that is going to be a little later on after I finish up with this FFMPEG. Now, something else I discovered is with these cells, they fit in a 3/4 inch PVC pipe. So I can build groups of cells in these PVC pipes. And one of the things I wanted to show on, if I did the X11 grab, is I've come across with a spreadsheet to determine how many cells, how many volts, so I can play around with it. So each of these is about 2.5 inches wide. So 2 of them would be 5 inches, 4 of them would be 10 inches. So I can make individual cells, and it'll look like something else that I'm not going to say on stream. So first things first is I did not get all the little tips and excess solder off. So I'm going to go ahead and desolder those. And I'm going to use my USB soldering iron. Let's see. I'm just waiting for something to load and for to turn that on. And let me go ahead in the chat and throw in some links. So this is the YouTube tools playlist. Hopefully that link goes through. And interesting. Okay. So let's see if this is hot enough and not melt the wire for the webcam. Yeah, this hasn't gotten warm enough yet. And I don't have the stand over here. So while that's loading, I'll also throw in that Raspberry Pi Pico and the temperature probe playlist. Throw that into the chat. Yeah. So this is the Pico temp probe. It's more stuff for the Pico besides just the temperature probe, but that is the basis of what that is. Okay, let's see if this got... Not sure what the temperature of this solder actually is that's on here. My soldering iron may not get hot enough. Let me just test. Yep, it's hot enough to get that solder off. Yeah, I may need a hotter soldering gun. I have a 110 actual soldering gun that's in a drawer that is not accessible right now, and I do not have a plug either that will not short out at this point. So So this is not working out, and also not seeing anyone really chatting. Says 2 people are watching, but if somebody does not give me, let me see, does not give me details on how they're watching. Because on a phone, I think it's a little hard to chat. On a TV, it's pretty much impossible to chat. And yeah, and if you're not logged in at all, it's impossible to chat. And I really didn't give any warning on this live stream. I decided this about an hour and a half ago to actually do this. And okay, interesting. I've been playing around with the bitrate, trying to get it at 2500. Right now it's at 10,000 kilobits per second, which is 10 megabits per second, and I believe that is how I actually set up this script. So I am going to go and check this script. So let's see. I'm using option 3, which is option 3 is the webcam. So webcam.sh or nano S6 webcam.sh, which is, if you've been following the series, well, excuse me, if you've been following the series, is the video input one, which I believe was X4. And let's see what settings I have here. Okay, so I have it, yep. I actually have it at 10 megabits for this. So I'm going to change this to 1 megabit and save it. The script's already running, so it's not going to change anything currently. So the next thing I was going to do is do the microscope. So let me go change the microscope one, which is pretty much a clone of the script I'm using here. And I'm going to drop that down to 1 megabit, which is still higher than they recommend, but I'll leave it like that. And I just realized the YouTube Studio live stream dashboard does not tell me what resolution I am streaming in. Let me see. Yeah, 720p is the max, so I'm not even streaming in. Yeah, because I didn't set up that stream like that. Okay, so yeah, I plan on doing at least an hour on this stream. And like I said, the 3 items I was going to do was the intro with the X11 and the webcam and the microscope. For this to really be a successful test, I'm going to have to at least switch it out at least once. So let's see, I started this at 4 o'clock? Yeah, this stream started at 4 o'clock Eastern Time. So it's been about, what's it been so far? It's been 31 minutes. At probably 40 minutes, I'll switch to the microscope. I do not have anything right now for that microscope, so I'll probably just switch it over, let it run for 5 minutes, and then come back over here to the webcam. And that X11 item I'm going to need to change out. And the other item I am going to do is, if you've looked inside if you've watched the original videos, when I did the intro video, I did the intro and then had it feed into the X11. If I can get this system working where I can jump between the inputs, then that won't be as relevant. I can make an independent script to just run a video. So I can do an intro video. I can then do, for longer streams, if I need to take a break, some type of break video. If there's something that I plan out that I'm going to explain in a live stream, I may make a video inside a video, well, inside of the live stream. Yeah, that was just a PVC pipe that I just haphazardly leaned up against the wall. So, as I was saying, I'll make a break video or a more detailed video, so if there's something I'm trying to explain, you're not as subject to my ums and uhs and okays. So I do know I use a lot of filler words. It wasn't until I've really been editing these videos that I realized how much I use them. But also with editing these videos, I've gotten used to hearing my own voice on a recording, because that was definitely a an issue of trying to do stuff for school reports or other things where I have to go and listen to myself. And that goes back to why I started this channel, was that I wanted to basically improve my public speaking, which it has improved a little, and it's a little better than speaking in front of people in general, like live people. But right now I'm literally speaking to 2 people. Well, either 1 or 2 people. I'm getting the YouTube studio is, let's see, is there anything on this screen that I should not be showing you? Okay. I'm going to do this with the webcam, and hopefully it's not all distorted, but this is the screen from the YouTube uh, desktop. So I have the video here, which is delayed by whatever time it gets delayed by. And I'm not showing that correctly. Maybe now. So here's the video. And over here it's showing 2 concurrent viewers, 1 like. But now it's down here, it's showing 1 concurrent viewer, 2 views in the average view duration. And over here, this is where I was saying that the bit rate is too high. I was getting the bit rate was too low previously. So I've fixed something. What I fixed, I don't know. But now it's in the opposite direction. And the stream health. It says it's healthy and it's giving that suggestion. So that's the current YouTube studio. And let me go back here. And let me make sure that... So, and I've mentioned this in at least one of the... And that's my messy desk. Nope, that's not what we want to see. We want to see the soldering board. Is that I do not get a preview of what we're seeing on screen. Is that I can set up, like I set up the webcam using VLC, but I cannot concurrently view the webcam on my computer and stream at the same time. So that's become a issue, and one that I hope to correct shortly. So, okay, so we're gonna go and say that I need a different soldering iron, so I would have to pull out my other soldering station. So that was a fail for this, and this is very hot. So I'm gonna let that cool down before I put the plastic cap on. And I also do have these other, they're labeled as, branded as Ultrafire TR18650s. They're 3.7 volts. These say they're 5,000 milliamp hours, which who knows how they label batteries, which is essentially 5 amp hours. So one of these, let's see, one of those, and let me pull up one of the AA rechargeables, and it's not a really great comparison, but let's see, can we see this on here? Okay, I don't know how this is showing up with the glare, but these are 2300 milliamp hours. So, yeah, not really showing up well. Maybe I'll throw that under the microscope when I load the microscope, because I don't have anything else to really show on the microscope. And the way I have everything wired, I can't put the microscope on my desk here, which is one of the things I was going to plan on doing with the microscope, was to use it while soldering. And that was part of the issue with me soldering, was that I had a hard time seeing the connections. I did buy a jeweler's guess this is a jeweler's loop or whatever, just so I can see a little better. That did help. So this microscope that I have, let's see, can I even get it onto the table here to view in the webcam? Well, this is the base for the microscope, and the problem I'm having is this arm does not like to stay where I need it to be using this base. So eventually what I'm going to do is change out the way the arm works. But this is the actual microscope itself. It says it does 50 to 1000 X. You can put a sample on this little tray here, and you can search there. What I would probably end up doing is, and hopefully this is on camera, is I wouldn't use the base just because it's not very helpful, but use the microscope sort of like this and view the individual circuits. And that might just be what I end up doing for the webcam also. So let's see, what time is it? It's been, so it's been about 45 minutes on this stream, and I either have 1 or 2 people watching. So let's see. Yeah, that's cooled down. Yeah, not the proper way to test to see if a soldering iron is cooled down. And I'll go ahead and put that away because, yeah, I am not really set to solder right now. And it's 74 in the office, which still isn't bad, but I'd rather not be soldering unless I can cool down. So, yeah, let's go do another test and see how it sounds with the air conditioner on. Just so I know. So, I'm going to go ahead and turn on the air conditioner. So I just started it up, and I'll go ahead and see how it sounds. Yeah, so that's with the air conditioner on. And I'm trying to listen. Yeah, so you can hear it. Yeah, definitely that. Yeah, that would be annoying to listen to, so go ahead and turn it off. Okay. Yeah. Really didn't have the plan I had was to do some work on the X11. So let me see if I can do this without you're going to see the mess of my office in here. So I have my Mac, which I showed you a moment ago. Let me just make sure I don't have anything else that I shouldn't have on my screen, and because I'm going to be passing this through. Okay, well, yeah, that looks like a good thing to have on my screen because we could talk about that. So let me try to zoom over. So yeah, I just threw Namecheap on the screen. That's one of my affiliates, which go ahead and take a look in the affiliate links for. This is for virtual private hosting. So those are the prices there, and then there's additional charges for other items that you might need. So you can take a look at that again. There's links in the description. And that's my microphone that I've set up, and this is what I wanted to show. And this is the laptop that is actually doing the streaming. So that's how I have that all set up. Let me make sure. Yeah, can't really see the screen too well because of I'd have to change the contrast. So yeah, more projects that I'm working on. So I'm streaming from this laptop, and let's see how the resources are. Again, you can't see the screen. So right now I am using about 50% of the CPU resources, which is not bad considering what this CPU actually is. It's a much older CPU, and that is basically part of why I was setting this up all like that. So in the next video, I'll show what I am doing here because I can't on the live stream. And so what I have done is I created two scripts. One is a loop. It just loops through, reads the configuration file, which just has one line, and it's just a number of 1 through 7. So right now I am using, let me check. And I just called it x6.com because this is the X6 version of the script. So I have it on option 3, which is the webcam. So if I go ahead and edit that file, and change that to 4, I believe. I should have paid attention. So 4 should be the microscope. So we can go ahead and get that microscope ready. I'm just gonna lay it down over here. So I don't have a good way of sending a terminal signal to FFMPEG. So what I am going to do right now is I change that configuration file. So that configuration file will load the loop and then would put whatever number is in that configuration file into loading a second script, which uses the case command to tell me which script needs to run. And let me just double check, make sure I spelt everything correctly before I run this, because this could terminate the stream. So x6 microscope.sh. Yep, that's the correct file. So it's either going to switch to the microscope right now, or the stream is going to end. Maybe, if I can't save it. So what I need to actually do, which is very clunky, is I need to go to the terminal window. Whoops, nope, I don't want to close the terminal window. And I have to hit Q. Once I hit Q, it should automatically transfer to the microscope. And I am actually going to set up. Okay, so if this fails, I'm going to go straight back to the webcam, and hopefully YouTube doesn't cancel it out. And if it does, thank you for watching. But I'm hoping to be back in about 5 seconds. So let's see how long this takes for the video to restart. So I'm going to hit Q right now. And should have caught. Hopefully it caught. Oh, it looks like it. Yep, man, it looks like it caught. Okay, so this has been a success. And let's go ahead and of course I can't see this live. So I do not know. Yeah, there's a way to adjust the brightness of this because this is silver. Let's see. Will it show? Maybe, maybe not. Is it too bright or not bright enough? I can't tell. Yeah, that looks kind of blurry. Okay, let me put this all the way. Yep, this is all the way down to 50x. So this is, yeah, well, this is me playing with it. Okay, let me try lowering. Whoop, no, that's making it brighter. Try lowering the light. Let's see if I can read. Can it read it? Nope, maybe. Yeah. Okay, let me try increasing the light, which to my naked eye, that's just making it just a big glare. But wanted to play around with this microscope, and I'm also holding it in my hand, so who knows. Is this reversed? Hold on a second. Well, let me find something to read. I have a funny feeling. Is this, or it's just the way I'm just looking at it? It almost seems like it reversed. Yeah. Oh, that's why. I'm holding it upside down. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. Okay, so we can read this one, it looks like. Let's see, yeah, ultrafire. Let me lower, yeah, now I'm getting a glare. Let me try to lower that. Let's see how low I can get it and still have it readable. Okay, yeah, as you can see here, it says 5,000 milliamp hours, and I do not understand why it's listed as milliamp hours and not as amp hours, because that would 5,000 milliamps is 5 amps, so it's 5 amp hours. Okay, I'm going to put the lens back on. Let's see how that affects the view. And see if that makes it better, worse. However it is. Okay. That looks, I'm getting like a starlight glare. I need to clean this lens probably. Okay. So let's go back to the Energizer. Again, this is all just testing, and it doesn't look like anyone's participating in the chat, so I don't know what else to talk about. But it's been a little over an hour, so I've gotten an hour stream right now. And this has been better than with OBS, Open Broadcast Software. Okay, let's go ahead. Whoops, get this down to as low as I can get it. And again, I'm trying to read something that's silver and metallic, and this may be pointless. Okay, that's way too dark. Oops. Okay, so these are the Energizer rechargeable. They are, I'm not sure, I think they're lithium. Maybe they're nickel metal hydride. Let me see. Yeah, these are nickel metal hydride. I think, yeah, NiMH, nickel metal hydride. I believe that's correct. And something else I wanted to use this for was to test or view my soldering. So let's see how horribly I soldered. Okay. That's a little too close and not bright enough. Add a little bit more brightness. Hopefully it doesn't shine off the solder too much. Yeah, if you're viewing this on after the fact, like you're viewing this live stream, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to leave this up. Just go ahead and throw any items you have in the comments, and what I should do on live streams in the future. So, thoughts on that have been multiple, and I'm going to switch back to the webcam, and this is going to be the second test of switching. So let's see what happens. And okay, I saved the configuration file, and quitting in 3, 2, 1. Hopefully to see you soon. Now, okay, that seemed to have picked up fairly quickly, I think. It's having an issue. Is it going to catch? Should have catched. Let's see, did it catch? Okay. This is actually, this has been successful. Not successful how I wanted it to go, but this has been successful nonetheless. Hold on 1 second while I grab something to drink. Okay, so items to do on the live stream. So I can still do the RCA input, the HDMI input. I have a second webcam. Actually, I have several, but these are the only two that will do 1080p. The rest are gonna do like 480p. Um, so and the X11 grab, which is primarily what I want to do with this live stream. So I can play games on one of my video setups. I have a Nintendo Classic clone. I have like a Game Boy Classic clone. I have in a closet somewhere. I do have I think it's called a PS1, the PlayStation Portable, with a few games. Um, I can do electronics projects. We can do some of the coding for this FFMPEG. And if I can get more people on the stream, we can try to brainstorm some of the issues. So, the next video, which I'm going to have to record now that this is working, is the scripts I use to switch from one to the other. That being said, that's going to be one of the videos. The next video after that, let me pull up my notes that I had that you've probably seen in some of the other videos. So this is the switching input devices on the fly, which is the X/Y6 version. And then for the X/Y7 is I'm going to use probably Zenity. There were some other versions that I've heard about. But if you follow Sean Powers, which he has several bash scripts and such, which I was in the middle of watching, trying to get this working. Let's see. Okay, nope, that's not the ones. That's a chess. Anyone play chess? We could try to do a chess, play online chess on one of these with, let's see, what's lichess.org. You could play chess with somebody. Maybe I don't have, well, here's another for using C and C++. Let's see. This is Jacob Sorber, I believe is how his name is pronounced. Jacob Sorber. This is actually, nope, Sorber. Yeah, I think that's how he spells his name. And this is a link to, yeah. This is a link to his channel, and that he's probably going to be a resource I am going to use in one of the later phases of this project, which is instead of using bash scripts, is using C and C++. So, I thought I had a window. As you saw, I have dozens of windows open just because. Yeah, and it's saying 2 people are watching this, so who knows. So, yeah, Sean Powers. Let me go to his playlist, and this is his. He does some Linux, like for the Linux Plus and one of the other. I can't keep track of the Linux certifications. So this is his Bash. Sean Powers Bash playlist. Okay. Yeah, you're probably tired of hearing me say okay or okay or any of those. So, yeah, you're probably tired of hearing me say so also. Now I'm getting self-conscious of what I'm saying. And I'm looking for other resources. And if you're interested in electronics, yeah, it's buried on my desk. I'll cause an avalanche. As I was working on a 74. Correction. It's wrong set of chips. 65 C816, which is the 6502 that does 16-bit registers, and what I was trying to get working on that is the 24-bit address space. So that is something where I'm doing it on a breadboard, and if you look at Ben Eater's videos, you can see him doing the 6502 on a breadboard, and that's sort of where I was going with it. I originally got that from the 8-bit guy and the Commander X16 when they mentioned that they weren't going to use the 65 C816, that they were just going to use the 65 CO2 chip because of what is required. So it basically needs I'm drawing a blank on what it needs. It basically needs to hold the address because it uses the data lines for the other 8 bits of the address, and that is where that comes into. So you have to, on the clock cycle, you would on the bottom bottom trigger, you would capture the address, and then at the top end you would use the data bits. And a way to actually test that is with something, yeah, and I'm caught up on wires on my desk, of course, is something like this, which is a 8-bit logic analyzer. I have 2 or 3 of these. I can only find one right now on my desk just because I have random stuff on my desk. I really need to clean that up. But with that, you can get and see all the signals. So what I would want to do is get the 3 logic analyzers together and then check with the timing on that. But if you're interested in the 486, this, let me make sure I got the right link. This is a channel called Fox Tech, and they just started, and they do, whoops, am I typing in the wrong spot? Yes, I am. Hopefully I didn't just cancel the stream. Foxtech. And let's see, is that the right channel? Yep. And they are doing a 486 breadboard, which is something I find interesting. They have about 6 videos right now, and it's actually working out pretty good. I really just hope to make space so I can do these correctly, do these videos correctly. So I keep all this stuff on my desk just so, like, oh, I can grab it to work on it and I don't end up working on it. This is another battery box I was working on. I should really just make a pile of stuff I need to put away. So this battery box, I'm not going to be using it anytime soon, so I can put that away. This is the original battery box that I had connected to the breadboard temperature probe module, and these, I did not solder these on well enough, and that's why I switched over to that USB one, just because it made it simple. Again, not using this anytime soon, so I can go ahead and put that away. A fan. Not going to be using that. I can put that away. This, I'll talk about this in a minute. And don't need my solder anymore, so I can put that away. Don't need my little soldering scrunchie, so I can go put that away. This right here is a heater. Takes 5 to 12 volts. Eventually, what I wanted to do is to test to see how hot this gets, and using the temperature probe module, and probably not one of these. I have other ones, if you've seen my videos, where they it's on a longer probe, and I can put it in here and test what the internal temperature is, and test it with a voltage regulator and see also what the current draw is. So, but not going to be using that in the immediate future. All stuff that I'm guessing would make good content, but I just don't have the time. A canning thermometer, which in theory I can use with that heater, but this came with something. But I already have a canning thermometer, not with the clip. The clip is useful, but I have a canning thermometer in my kitchen, so I don't need that. So, but that should probably go in my kitchen. I bought a coffee stirrer, which I need to figure out what size batteries, but I don't need that here. I can throw that in my kitchen, which my kitchen needs to be cleaned too. So, yeah. As you're sitting here with me doing some spring cleaning on my desk, and it's just miscellaneous stuff. Like when I pan the camera around, I have my mail on here. I have bills I need to pay on here. Yeah, well, talking about bills and money, still working on trying to get into the YouTube partner program. So if anyone is currently watching and hasn't subscribed, you can go ahead and subscribe. That does help. So yeah, so these are all just individual projects that are halfway done. So back to this. So when I was working on doing the original Debian Bookworm with that laptop I was showing, I needed to take the input from the VGA output of the laptop into HDMI, which I had HDMI capture devices. So I thought these were the correct ones. No. These are one way. Well, this I believe is bidirectional, but we'll forget about that. And let's just say I can get a VGA connection here, because I do have more of these somewhere around. I think I have them in my basement. So these are single direction. So it can take an HDMI signal and output a DVI signal. But it cannot take a DVI signal and output to an HDMI. I don't do much video conversion, so I just assumed, because I've always used these DVI VGA ones, which are pretty much bidirectional. What I needed to use is I needed to get this. Now this is the exact opposite. It takes the VGA signal and outputs it to HDMI. And I'll make a separate video on this at some point. And it will also take in the audio. So HDMI does carry audio. And I'll get into that a little bit in a few minutes. But it needs power. So it takes in I believe this is, that's micro. So it takes in a micro connection to power it, a 5-volt USB connection. And there you can take the signal and I can throw it into my my HDMI to USB, which is somewhere on my desk. I've moved things around several times. I'm not sure where it's connected at this exact moment. So that was the part of my issue with that. And then just so these connectors I don't need to be on my desk right now, so I need to go find a home for that. Same thing with what other items do I have on my desk that I don't need. Yeah, just miscellaneous. I'm not sure what I was doing with that, but yeah, some barrel connectors just connected with jumper wires. No idea why I was doing that. Actually, yeah, that was for the laptop that I'm actually streaming from, because let me double check something. Yeah, the screen, the plug on this is very temperamental, and I'll have to open up that laptop and fix the connector. And as I've mentioned, I'm so wonderful at soldering, so there's no possibility that that's going to have a problem. Insert sarcasm there. So that is basically it for what's on my desk right now that I need to get rid of. And that's just on my desk. I have not gotten to stuff that is on my shelves up here that I really need to find a permanent home for. Like this USB audio card, which I don't remember what I needed it for. I have HDMI, micro SD cards. Not sure what this card was meant for. I need to check to see if I put any data on it. Yeah, other things I have miscellaneous RF connectors. Why? I don't know. And there's one of my HDMI capture devices. I have two of them. This one I don't think worked on my Mac correctly, but I do believe it worked on Linux. Yeah, just other miscellaneous items. So back to the original question of, I have wires everywhere now, is what to actually do for future live streams. Because if you've watched my 100th video or my 100th published video, you would have seen that I want to try to do at least once a month do a live stream, which is what triggered this whole FFMPEG item, is that I'm trying to find a better way to basically live stream. So and still no one really typing anything. Still showing either one or two people watching. But if you are watching and you are logged in, yeah, go ahead and like this video. Yeah. So back to the FFMPEG series. So I'll set up that GUI interface, and if you've looked at the video that came out this week, which is on using the FIFO pipe, I think I'm going away from that, because I think the system I just set up here with the script that will jump between videos, I think that's going to work better than the FIFO. My original plan with the FIFO pipe was essentially to have whatever I was doing on the FFmpeg video go into the pipe and then go into this instance of FFmpeg, and hopefully that's, and then that go to YouTube. What I was hoping was that to prevent this from canceling out between here as I switch devices, was that the pipe would keep this version of FFmpeg always running. So if I canceled out this and ran a new version of FFmpeg, the pipe would still stay open and the stream would still stay open. So there's that. So just back to what I was mentioning earlier. I changed it from 10 megabits to 1 megabit. And right now I'm at, which I just realized that it wants to be at 2.5 megabits. So that is actually going to be partly an issue. I don't know how, if I'm getting anything choppy right now. So, but then again, back to what I was saying here. But when this cancels, it sends an end of file signal, and this cancels. And I was getting a delayed bit rate. So right now, let me see. The output of FFMPEG is, yeah, right now I'm outputting at a speed of 1. I was getting a much lower speed earlier. So there's that. So yeah, so the whole pipe idea, the whole FIFO pipe, yeah, that's essentially a non-starter. So I would like to go back to that, but I think I'm going to follow my, and that's kind of blurry on the screen. So that's where I'm going with that. So let me try to fix this bitrate thing right now. So let me close this out. I'm going to, it's the webcam file. So I'm going to change this from 1 megabit to 3 megabits. Yeah, and I just realized that I do not have this changing the, or exporting this as 1080p, which is why I'm only getting 720p. So, something to work on. So, it's still on number 3, which number 3 is the webcam. So, I'm going to go ahead and send that Q signal to FFmpeg and have it just refresh with the new script for the webcam to have the 3 megabits. So it's been working so far, so cross your fingers, cross your toes. Let's give it another shot. Okay, looks like it caught. Okay, it looks like it's sending it at about 3 megabits. So there's no way to actually tell if it's actually what the, let's see, stream health. It's just saying that it's healthy. Stream settings, nope. And analytics, view concurrent viewers. Views. Yeah, it's saying I have 2 viewers. Okay. So, concurrent viewers, let's see. What can I add? Engage with your audience. Let's see what I can do with that. Start a poll. Yeah, there's not enough people here. No one's chatting anyway. So polls be interesting. Question and answer live. Not sure how that'll work again. Not enough people right now to really justify that. So my audio on? This would suck if I turned off the audio. Yeah, okay. And this is actually working more surprisingly better than I thought it was. Oh, let me check what my temperature is. Yeah, 67 degrees Celsius, which, yeah, I'm not doing that math in my head. And as long as I keep it under 80, then it's fine. With Shotcut, I'm running into issues with it overheating, so I do need to use the cooling fan, which I can't even plug in right now because I don't have a USB connected to that right now. Yeah, so I do plan on doing a video on Shotcut on doing the countdown video. And I really wish I knew why the countdown was not working. Let me try to figure that one out. Yeah, this is a great time to try to figure out stuff. So the countdown is... Okay, so I'm going to copy that script, which was x6-intro, and I'm going to do x6-intro video.sh, and I'm going to, okay, and I'm going to go ahead and edit that x6 intro video. And what am I going to do here? I'm going to take out the second leg, so I'm just going to do the video. So let's see. So I'm going to take out the X11. Yep, take that out. Take that out. The audio plugin, taking that out. Taking out the filter complex, and taking out the map. In theory, this should work. In theory. Okay, so this one may actually go ahead and cancel out. So what this is going to do is do a 1-minute video, and then I'm going to come back to the webcam. So let me save this. Let me double check, make sure I have the stream key. Yes. So that's the other thing, is I have the stream key listed in all these scripts, which means that I can't show them on screen. Otherwise, I have to create a stream key and then delete it. And I really don't want to do that because I have this stream key linked to other things. So, okay, so I'm not using, it's basically just going to output whatever the input is. So, save that. And then change the select. So this is going to be the break video. Okay, let me just change the X6 select, and this is going to be intro video. So I'm going to have to change the X6 comp file, and that's going to be 2, and save that. And I'm going to go open up that file again and change it to 3, but not save it. And as soon as the intro video kicks in, I will switch back to the webcam. So hopefully I will be back in 60 seconds. Again, otherwise this stream is going to end now. So hopefully see you, or hopefully you see me, however that works out, in 60 seconds. Cycle. Will this save it? Maybe. I think I just saw. Okay. Okay, so that was okay. So you didn't hear the last by 15-30 seconds of what I was saying. Okay, so things I've just learned. I'm probably going to need to put some type of sleep command on the script with the video, because it locks up. It basically just locked at 4 seconds. So couple things is I was getting an error saying that the keyframe rate needs to be less than 4. So in I'm going to see if I can change that in FFmpeg and just do a conversion instead of re-exporting it from Shotcut, which I should be able to do in Shotcut. I can't do that right now because that would probably overload the system and this stream would probably crash. So this is actually going pretty well. I'm at hour 40. And we've switched back and forth several times. Most of it has been back to this webcam. I was just about to say so. I've said this several times, and I'll probably say it a couple more, is I'm really happy with the way this has worked out, with the exception of that X11, and what that probably was is that the screen is 1380 by something, so it's 1366 by whatever. That's the screen resolution of the video. What I was trying to do, which I thought I had figured out and done in other videos, was to only show this part of the screen. And I was keeping it at 16 by 9 because I wanted to have my terminal window over here, which would show my stream key. Because right now, if I was showing that video, you would be able to see my stream key. So I wanted to have that hidden. So this was giving an issue with the output. So I need to probably have the codec recoded, and I need to make sure I get my math right to have it by 16 by 9, which should be a 1 to 1.77 or 1.777 to 1 ratio. So that's something to play with. Another item to the video, the video is encoded with an unsupported codec. Please use H.264, which I thought I was, but I've converted these scripts so many times that I've lost track of what I've changed in those. So, and let me make a note over here, H.264. But it seems to have worked so far. I don't think I've had any real issues with this, even though these, and this is with the bit rate. I know I've chased the bit rate, but that was because I had overshot the mark. I just didn't want to do any issues. But as long as everything is streaming smoothly, I'm not going to really chase these warnings from the stream health. So, and I can't find my mouse. Okay, there's my mouse. Let's see what the stream health is saying. Stream health error. The video encoded. Yeah, that was at 5:48, so about a minute ago. 5:45, the stream was healthy. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm not getting very good input from YouTube on what is happening. I would like to use something and make a RTMP server so I can sort of hash out what is happening in the system. And that I'm not really I'm not too sure exactly how to do that. I was originally going to use FF server until I realized that that's been deprecated for years. I had doing earlier testing. I did it on my Raspberry Pi, which I think is running RetroPie, which is running. Let's see. Am I logged into that one right now? Yes, I am SSH into that. And let's see. Uname -u. Uname -a? Nope, it's -a. Yeah, that is running 4.19. The Linux kernel 4.19. And let me see. Cat. etc apt sources.list, and yeah, that's using stretch, which I don't remember which version of Debian that is. Let's see. Google's your friend. Debian STRETCH. Debian stretch. So that was Debian 9, where what we're using right now to stream is essentially Debian 12. So that was initially released in 2017, which makes sense, and it was yeah, security updates were discontinued in July 6th of 2020. So I should probably go through and update that, but I don't use it much. That was the machine of the Raspberry Pi that I was using to program the Pico. So I'm not overly concerned with that. And let's see, uptime. That's been up for 241 days. So maybe once I have to reboot it, I'll change that. But yeah. Okay, so I keep getting sidetracked. So other things, if I can get the X11 grab to work correctly, the other thing that I would like to do is to use AIs and just play around with Google Bard and with OpenAI's ChatGPT and see what can be done. And if I had, once I can have a big enough audience with that, I would have people in the chat just say, hey, try using this as a prompt and see what happens. Yeah, have some fun with it. So again, just all just thoughts on what can be done, and if I can do one of these live streams once a month, then that would probably help out, especially if I can get more than 1 or 2 people watching. If I can get more than 1 or 2 people watching, then I can go ahead and build up some watch time. So if you don't know, for the YouTube Partner Program, which is where you get, among other things, revenue from the ads that show on videos, is you need 1,000 subscribers and you need 4,000 watch hours or public watch hours, which I'm roughly at 1,200 now, but that needs to be within a year. So I'm already getting videos from over a year ago where those hours are getting knocked off. So instead of my watch time continually rising, it's kind of just leveling off. So for that to work, let's pull out a calculator. Just so there's something on the screen besides me just yammering. Is so need 4,000. It says within, I think it says within the last 12 months, so I don't know if it cuts off exactly at 365 days, but that's what we'll go with. 365 days, need 11 watch hours per day. I am averaging anywhere between 2 and 7, I would say. And if I'm averaging, it shouldn't be a range. I would say about 5. So I'm halfway there, which isn't gonna get me there. So that's why I am trying to work on that. Yeah, I'm not gonna load up anything else in Studio because I don't know if it's gonna kill the stream. So I don't want to play around and start pulling up my my numbers. So let's just go back to the 4,000 watch hours and 52 weeks. So need 77 hours a week. Now, roughly, I release 1 video a week. So that means each video needs 77 watch hours. I think I may only have 1 or 2 videos right now that meet that criteria. So, again, just because with working on stuff, so 77 hours times 60 minutes, so that's 4,620 minutes of watch time per video if I do a long form video once a week. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Okay. So that's another thing I want to do with this FFmpeg is to try to get some audio control, so I'm not just pressing the mute button on my microphone when I need to like burp, sneeze, cough. Okay, so back to the 4,620 watch hours. Ooh, hold on a second. Okay. For some reason this isn't charging. So I'm at 45%. Okay, now it's charging. Yeah. I must have bumped the laptop, like I said. Probably when I was typing, like I said, the connection is very temperamental. So 4,620 watchmen. So let's just write that down. 4620. Yeah, this I originally made this to use as filler before I was more comfortable with editing. Anytime I had to add anything into an edit, like when I was while I was editing it, all of a sudden I realized I forgot to mention something or something like that. I used this, and I figured it's a nice friendly reminder to people to like, comment, subscribe, and share. But I'm using it as scrap. So that's how many minutes. So excuse me. I've been trying to keep videos under 8 minutes. And part of it is the same thing with the YouTube Partner Program, is that once I have 100 views, they start adding ads to it. And if the video is over 8 minutes, they start adding mid-roll ads, which I hadn't noticed earlier. But I have no control where those get placed or if they get placed. So if I keep videos under 8 minutes, then they can't, or they won't add mid-roll ads because that's their cutoff. So let's just say I have an 8-minute video. And let's say I have a pretty good percentage. So let's say I have 60% view time, average view duration for that video, which is 4.8 minutes. So we'll just add that 4.8 minutes per view. So that would mean to get 4,620 minutes at 4.8 minutes per view, I need each video to be almost 1,000 views. I'm lucky to get like 150 views. So that's where these live streams hopefully come in. If I could get more people on the live streams. So right now we're almost at 2 hours. So say I can get 10 people. 10 people to watch it, and watch it for 75% of the time for a 2-hour thing. So 2 times 0.75 is 1.5. So 1.5 times, well, we'll just leave it as 1.5 hours times 10 would be 15 hours. So 15 hours, well, let's go back to is 900 watch minutes. And that's enough for one day's views. But if I can do, now let's say I can do that for each, do that once a month. So, let's even say something better. I can do it once a week. So, for each week, we said 4,000 divided by 52 was 76.9. So 77. And what did I say? 1.5 times 10, 150 hours. So, yeah. 150 hours. No. That can't be right, is it? 1.5 hours times 10, 15 hours. Okay. Yeah. So I can get 15 hours. So out of the 77, if I can knock out 15 from just people watching the live stream live, I'm down to 62 hours. Which again, we'll times that by 60, which is 3,720 minutes. And again, divide that by the 4.8 average view duration, and that's 775. A little better. And then hopefully I get maybe another 10 people to watch half the videos. So that could be another 10 hours. So it's these little things. But what I really need to do is get more people to watch my videos, which would be making them a higher quality, working on my thumbnails, working on the live stream thumbnails, because I'm going to have to go through the analytics to really see, and I'm having an issue with my screen right now. I'd have to go through the analytics and see what the actual the impressions were for this live stream, and then see what the click-through rate is, and 2 out of, say, it's sent to 100 people, maybe 2%. YouTube is saying anything over 0.6% is a good percentage. It's giving me the little check mark there. So, yeah. So that's where I am there. And items that help the view duration is the watch time and likes. So Hopefully people are liking the videos, even though I have not been doing a call to action for likes in the videos. I think I may have put one in this week's video. I can't remember. I remember I was starting on it. Comments. Comments, as far as YouTube says, does not register into the recommendation system directly. What comments do, is that they provide feedback to me. Good, bad, indifferent. Same thing with likes and dislikes. I did do a video where I did ask people to dislike that video, and it didn't do well. It actually did about average of what my other videos were. So, comments have their purpose. They get people involved. There's some creators that just say, oh, just type some things on a keyboard. No, that's not helpful. It doesn't register. At one point, it did. That was originally behind the concept of what the first couple Project for Awesomes were. They were trying to get as many comments because more comments got you higher on the list, but the algorithm has changed, at least according to YouTube. Subscribers. What subscribers help with is, one, it's a part of the requirement to get into the partner program, but two, subscribers are more likely to be recommended videos. And right now, if I recall correctly, I think I'm at 625 subscribers. So there's that. I need another 375 more subscribers to get into the partner program. But again, that watch hours are an issue. And sharing. If you have a video that you think you might know, a video of mine that you think somebody might like, you could share it on social media. It's not something I actually do often. I did it for a while, but I'm not very big on social media. As you can see, if you look at my profile or the about section of the channel, I don't have any social media listed there. I may actually create a Mastodon profile, but that might be if I create a Mastodon server instance and make that into some content. But I've never had a desire to be on Twitter. Mastodon is sort of just like Twitter, but now Twitter is more of a shit show. But that's neither here nor there. I was not planning on joining it to begin with. Interesting. The closed captioning actually blanked out the profanity. Interesting. That's all I can say about that. So let me let's see. I have not created a way for this script to cancel out, I don't believe. I'm actually going to have to kill the script itself, I believe. So what I may do is run the breakout video again. So I'm going to see if I can fix the issue with the breakout video. Yeah, it's X. Yeah, I'm gonna have an issue with those frame rates. So let's see if I can figure that out. And that's probably where I'll end the video, because again, still it's showing one person is viewing, and I'm not sure if it's showing the me viewing it on studio. So it stopped giving me the error on the stream health. That's good. Yeah, it's saying stream health excellent now. So I don't know what it was doing with the about the Kodak. Let me see. That is correct. For the webcam, I do not have it doing the libx264 Kodak. So that's something. So I'm going to add the bit rate of 3 megabits for, I think that's the right, 3 megabits for the video. And let me look up, see how to set keyframe. And I'm on the space bar because I have this wire here. Keyframes, FFMPEG, how to extract trees, how to add additional keyframes. Let's see. A knit key? Is that it? Key and knit. X264 Palm and let's see, set keyframe FFMPEG. Okay, change key. You'll need to re-encode set X264 key in it. I don't know if I want to do that on the fly. Okay. Okay, so what I am going to do, so I added that, so hopefully that saves correctly the intro video. And let's see, x6 loop.sh. How did I? Okay, so if I set the x6 conf to 0, that should read input selection will continue. I did not set how to change the will continue. Okay, if I set 0, okay. So this is what I'm going to do. Let me make sure that I have everything saved correctly. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and set the x6 conf to do the video and then have it end. So I'm going to go from 2 to 0. And so right now I'm on 3. I'm going to change that to 2. And this is going to be the final test for this live stream. Is going to be if I can end it. And I'm going to end it with the countdown video just because that's the only video I actually have right now. So I am going to go ahead and run the countdown video and then terminate the script. So yeah, and then in after this after YouTube encodes everything, I am going to go ahead and add end screens in to the end of that video. So those that have watched either live or after it's been live streamed, thank you. Go ahead and leave comments at this point because the stream will be ending. And yeah, leave them in what I should do for future live streams. Maybe I'll put that down as a community poll. Thank you for watching. You have a great day.